Hey friends, it's Beck the Feminist Lawyer again. I just read Senate Bill 140 that just passed, Georgia Senate Bill 140 that was just signed by Governor Kemp a couple of days ago, and I wanted to put to rest some fears that I had and so that some of you probably have as well. For those of you who haven't heard, Senate Bill 140 is an anti-trans bill, and it outlaws certain types of gender-affirming care for children under the age of 18. The good news is, we'll start with the good news, is that it really only applies to surgical intervention, and there's also a loophole for medical necessity. There is also a loophole for those who are born with, gender or sex-related abnormalities like indistinct genitalia, born with both sexes of genitalia, certain other, medically identifiable conditions that gave rise to the need for surgical intervention. So the good news is that this particular bill is really only coming after surgical interventions. So, breast reductions, penis construction, removal of uteruses, things like that, which are gender affirming treatments that are very, very friggin' rarely done on a child under 18 anyway. Now, here comes the bad news, and it's more bad than good. Doctors can be held liable for treating children with gender dysphoria now. So if a child comes into a pediatrician's office and says, I'm experiencing intense gender dysphoria and I would like to begin a hormonal transition, can you please give me pills, etc., and they start doing things like puberty blockers, etc., if there is any sort of damage, even the correct effect that is done by these treatments, including them working exactly as intended. If that child, grows up and changes their mind, like, oh, I really don't want to transition, they can sue that doctor that treated them and win. So the likelihood of doctors taking that risk, treating children with gender dysphoria through medical means, is going to be very, very low. They could risk their licenses and their livelihoods. Also, in the bill, it listed being transgender as a comorbidity with mental illness and autism. So it called autism a morbidity, which they lumped it in with mental illness. So what they're doing is, in legislative language, they're characterizing autism as something that should nullify an autistic person's ability to make decisions for themselves. So they're trying to, legislatively categorize autism as an incapacity, which if anybody knows anybody autistic, or if you are autistic, or if you're anywhere on the autism spectrum, you know that some people are incapable of contract, and some people you just never know. They're running their lives, like any other normal person. They just look at the world through a different lens. So the fact that there is legislative language that is lumping autism in with a mental illness or something that causes incapacity is extremely troubling. And the fact that that language is used to negate a transgender person's ability to identify themselves as a transgender person. Let's make no mistake, this is a hateful bill. But it is not as bad as the bills in Florida that would allow the government to seize the children that are receiving gender affirming care from the homes of the parents that are providing it. And that's any gender affirming care. So, allowing, a child that was assigned male at birth to present socially as the girl she is. Florida can seize your kid for that, and you don't even need to be a Florida resident. Which is why I do not think the parents of queer kids should be taking them to Disney World or SeaWorld or Wet n Wild or whatever down in the swamp you want to do. So it's bad, but it's not completely catastrophic yet. And we'll fight it. We'll keep fighting it. Stay safe out there, my friends. Keep fighting the good fight, because Lord knows I will.